Hi, everyone. Today we have Tuan here. And Tuan, why don't you tell us about your coffee shop in Chicago?
Yeah, my name is Tuan Huynh. I'm the owner and founder of Viet5 Coffee. We are a vertically integrated Vietnamese coffee brand that specializes in Robusta with coffee grown and harvested on my family's farm in the Central Highlands of Vietnam. And we import it right here to the city of Chicago. Our shop is located in the West Loop neighborhood of the city.
Can people from areas outside of Chicago get your coffee?
Absolutely. You can go online. We have shipped to all 50 states. Um, we also have partnerships on the East and West Coast with small mom and pops shops that serve our Robusta coffee.
Very, very nice. So, how long have you been certified with USPAACC?
It's going on a year now, I believe, that we've been certified with USPAC.
So, did they help you in any way, even before and after the pandemic?
I didn't become aware of USPAC until beginning of last year in 2023.
After the pandemic, you became aware of them, and then did they help you in any way in terms of growing your business, or any, loans or grants?
Yeah, I was able to obtain a business loan.
And what do you use your business loan for?
I use my business loan for inventory. Since we grow and harvest our Robusta coffee on my family's farm, the cost of exporting from Vietnam and importing into the US, particularly with shipping costs and freight costs, it's can get pretty astronomical. And so the funds did alleviate some help with cash flow.
So how often do you actually, ship from Vietnam to here?
I do it every quarter.
Every quarter.
Yeah, I shipped every quarter, just enough to maintain a 90 days surplus supply, what we currently are without scaling.
So what's your plan of scaling?
Location two, doing product development into more of ready to drink products. So that's a goal of mine to do location two and develop a ready to drink beverage with our Robusta coffee.
So if people don't know about your brand, how are they going to find you? Are there a lot of like, Vietnamese grown, farm grown coffee in the US?
As far as I know, I don't know no more than two or three Vietnamese coffee brands that are vertically integrated like ourselves. So we are not in a saturated field. I believe we are in a pretty unique space where we are. And where they would find it in any promotions we do right now is really through our online presence, our online portal on our website, vid5.com, and also any of our social media platforms that we operate. And we do a lot of collaborations with other brands like the Chicago Blackhawks, Lululemon, or any other, community partnerships that we have with organizations and small businesses to elevate and promote what we're doing.
Are there any difference between your brand versus the other two or three you said, vertically grown, Vietnamese, brand?
Yeah, I think for us is our story. Right? It's not duplicatable. I always say that we share our story first. We build community through what we're doing, and we do it through the celebration of our Vietnamese culture. And we grow and harvest our coffee. Our coffee is our story. I think in how we serve, there's no machine that makes our coffee. We still do it traditionally through a fin brew. And how we operate as the space, how we activate the space as well, because we are a community forward focused business. That's in our model. It's in how we hire as well. We hire all of our staffing from socioeconomic depressed areas in the city. So we provide job opportunities, career opportunities through creative outlets that we do out of our space, from doing portfolio reviews to art installations to creating network events where we bring folks that are not normally in the same space together to open up doors where it's been historically closed to them.
Can you tell us how you got started? What your story? Why did you pick coffee? And why did you decided to, import, Vietnamese grown coffee in the States?
Yeah, I used to be a creative director at an ad agency here in Chicago. And after visiting home for the first time since I was a kid, my family and I left Vietnam when I was 3 years old as boat people. I came back for the first time as an adult. Um, I tried my coffee for the first time in 2019, coming home, and it changed me. It changed my whole life. It was some of the best things I've ever consumed or tried, and it's so different than what we experienced in the US. And I felt like the world hasn't experienced authentic Vietnamese Robusta coffee in its deserving place in the coffee, specialty coffee space in general, have overlooked Robusta coffee, particularly from Vietnam. But Robusta is so significant in Vietnam that we are the #1 producer of Robusta coffee in the entire world. We're only #2 in coffee export, behind Brazil in the world. But not a lot of people in America, the US, have a chance to experience Robusta coffee from Vietnam. It's always about the milk, and Vietnamese coffee is not about just the milk or the drink. If you're talking about just milk, then you're not talking about Vietnamese coffee. And I want to be able to change that narrative, really elevate and bring our coffee to the forefront and into its rightful deserving place. I found the medium of coffee as a connector of people. It's one of the most consumed products in the entire world, and we produce some of the best coffee in the entire world, but we don't get that credit. And I just feel like it's also purposeful and missional in the work that we're doing, and it goes beyond just a cup of Joe. It's really the story that we get to share. We get to share Vietnamese story every single day through the brand itself. When we say Viet 5, right? Viet 5 is a direct translation of Vietnam when you say Vietnam. And so that's it's in honor of my 5 siblings, our 5 days at sea, on a boat 45 by 15 with 55 souls on board, which I was the youngest on that boat. And through our brand, we get to share that story. In numerology, the number 5 means making choices that leads to change, that leads to freedom. That tells the story of the boat people, my family, and our journey. So through our brand itself, we get to amplify the story of the Vietnamese diaspora in the US. So that's something for me is worth it, going from making a comfy salary and a job. That's already a American dream for Vietnamese boat people, to work at the largest ad agency in the world, to have a corporate job, you know, to get to do what you love every single day. And that was a dream, right? But I felt like more missionally, more purposefully, building a community of your own through this beverage, through this coffee story of ours, which is something that I feel right about. And we get to do it every single day. And that in itself is more rewarding than a paycheck.
Do you have any advice for other Asian American entrepreneurs who want to start the journey?
Hmm. Yeah, I think that's what's really cool about the Asian in general experience in the world. Right? A lot of our countries that we come from are war torn, right? They consider Asia as this third world, and it's such um, it perpetuates this narrative that we are somehow lesser, that our story is somehow insignificant in the world platform, when things that are made in Asia is considered cheaper, it's considered less. When a product is made or coming from Asia, it's less valuable. And it somehow relates to its people as well. We may be small in stature, but we populate half the world freaking population. We're a force. We're a force, and each one of these things, each one of the individuals of the Asia continent now reside in the US and around the world. We carry that force with us. You know, we carry our own unique story from the roots and the origins of our birthplace, maybe second, third, fourth generation separated, but we still always call our homeland home. We always call the place of our origin home. Even if you never step foot in there, but when you're ahead, booking your flight, going home, whatever translation it is, you would say, Vive Vietnam. You're going home to China. You're going home to Taiwan, going home to India. You're going home to Korea. You're going home to Japan. You know, you're coming home. And we carry this with us into the space that as entrepreneurs, when we get to share our journey, we create that space uniquely to our own journey. And I think to any entrepreneur to hold to that truth, that your experience, the world has yet to hear of its blessings, the fruits of the labor that your ancestors and parents have carried for so long. My parents always remind us, never forget your language, never forget where you come from. We're always reminded of that. I was growing up and having a business now. I'm in the coffee space. I'm in the coffee industries where they book us, you know, where they bucket us. But I don't see myself in the coffee industry. I consider ourselves in the space of storytellers that are unique and different. I just so happen to be selling this amazing coffee that's grown and harvested on volcanic red soil in the central highlands of Vietnam. I'll never convince you to drink my coffee. I never have to. We lead with our story. We build a community around it. We share our culture. And the coffee is amazing.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah. Thank you.